But the things that I remember, which is it's really weird, right? I can't remember childhood, but I remember Lethal Weapon as a kid, and I remember playing video games. I mean, those things are what shaped me. I mean, I remembered like what 10 years old, 5, watching Lethal Weapon. I know I shouldn't have done because it's not very good
Do
parenting.
you really want to? Do you want to? It's like,
Sometimes.
I think about even a bullet. Do I am doing the job? It's like,
Doing the job. I'm too old for this shit. I'm back. He's black.
no, they didn't go like that.
Oh well, what's funny was I actually watched all the Lethal Weapon films the other day. I actually started off watching Lethal Weapon, Lethal Weapon 2, then 3, then 4, and I started off watching the director's cut of the first one again. I really like the director's cut of the first one because
I
it's a
think the first one was cool.
no, it's
Second one,
edgy, cool.
edge.
It's got an edge to it.
Second one was very dark. Third one was a little bit. Let's bring Lethal Weapon to the masses and make it a bit
Yes, it's Three
more.
Stooges.
And then the fourth one was just rubbish.
I like the fourth one.
Why can't we
Be friends? Why can't we? I like the fourth one because, to me, this Lethal Weapon, right? You got a bloke who's about to kill himself, but he doesn't because he thinks, well, I can either kill myself or I can kill myself doing something good, as in doing the police work, correct? And then the black geezer, right? At first he hates him, and then it's like, oh dear God, this guy's gonna kill me while he kills himself. And then, after a while, he saves his life, and he thinks, well, this actually is a good bloke. He's basically on hard times. So he brings him home, shows him the warmth of a family, and then they end up getting into some shit, and then they come out of it, and he's not suicidal anymore. And that's the thing about the series, right? That was the beginning and end of it. The rest were just a continuation. I mean, the second one was it's another event, another thing, and same with the third one, same with the fourth one.
stop after the second one? The second one was
It
a
was all
really.
right.
The third one was a joke.
I like the third one. I like all the films. It's just, to me, Lethal Weapon was a one-off, and 2, 3, and 4, it's a kind of spoof in a sense because you think about it. The first one, it's literally a family man, right? A man who's been through Vietnam, right? He's a policeman. He's a family man, and you got a suicidal cop, and together, great chemistry, great action. To me, it's a film by itself. But at the same time, you've got these three films that continue it in a really funny way.
The second one with the funky South African accents is funny.
Free South Africa,
Why was you being so freaking man?
freaking man, yeah,
No, but the best bit about Lethal Weapon 2 is
yeah.
the chase.
Oh, the chase was awesome. And do you,
That's what to remain unconscious. Anything you say ain't gonna be much.
but anyway, back to what I was saying there, right? Do you remember in the second one, right, where the black geezer's like, "You're not gonna make it, you're not gonna make it," and then Riggs is like, "We will make it, we'll make it," and then they don't make it because they crash into the wall, and he's like, "Yep, you're right, we weren't gonna make it."
I got $50 on Murtaugh in his wife's car.
and he and he's like, "Who's driving?" And it's like Murtaugh. I'm pulling out that bed.
There's on my toilet.
He scared the shit out of me. That was cool though.
3 or 1, 2, 3, go, or 1, 2, 3, then go.
What about?
Just don't leave the podcast, man.
Yeah, that's cool actually. Yeah.
Leave the
we're,
podcast.
we're too old for this shit. Yeah.
The last 10 minutes we just wasted that need to be deleted.
Well, we can always use chunks of it, and we're still finding our feet, Yeah. Here comes the awkward silent bit. Yeah, that.
Shall we tell anybody our plans for Behind the Eyes 3? Because I've got loads of
I
ideas.
have tons of ideas. Now, right, I'm the visionary, right? I see the film, right? Now, how I see it opening is a field. I pan over to you. I start saying, "Welcome to the oh," and then you run off screaming, and I'm like chasing you, and I stop and I go, "Come back, come back! We've got to do Behind the Artist 3," and then suddenly the music comes. Why dun 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 dun, and you're running, and then the credits come up saying Behind the Art's free, and we have this long pause where you're running off with your arms waving in the air.
I can do that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. What song do you want to use for it though? We could use the same one as the second one. That'd be really cool.
Well, what I really want to do is people like the first one because it was more an off the cuff, didn't they? But you want the first one's humour with the second one's production.
The second one had better sound, better visuals. It was better put together, but at the
It's
same time, it wasn't random enough, and it was a bit planned.
it's had a lot less hits than the first one.
Yes.
Bro, do you realise I've had more hits on my game review than you?
And yeah, but bear in mind, right? I showcased your video, right? Which means every time someone clicks on my channel, your video pops up. Which means you probably gained 20 to 30 hits because of it. Like, do you remember when Equilibrium showcased one of your videos? You gained what? How many hits? Double? Triple? It does make a difference. We have to help each other in this community. End of the day, if if I like someone, he likes someone, then we have potential to spread that to other people in the community. That's how you do it.
I do like watching Equilibrium's games.
Oh, he's cool. Yeah, he's a really cool chap.
His intros and stuff. And there are other people like that. And the Steve Benway one was complete fluke. I just thought,
Steve
Grand Prix.
Benway is awesome.
Yeah, I just saw him on the Amsterdam. Because I remember playing that, and I was thinking,
Same
God,
here. Yeah, I've always talked to him about gaming, and I've always said to him, "Yep, good game, good game," because he talks about like he does videos like on the Spectrum. I said I played that on the Amstrad, and he said I'm about to do an Amstrad series where he basically spends the next like so many videos focusing on the Amstrad, and like he said, he's quite enjoying it. He thinks it's a really good system, and he really likes the games for it.
now he's just going to spend most of the time waiting for the damn thing to load.
That's the thing. You get the boom.
Turn the volume down.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know where you can get one from, but that would be nice. You remember Mum and Dad going mental with that fruit machine game, though?
Oh, Dad loved it. He played it all the time.
Just get addicted to that.
That was a cool game. Do you remember? Dun dun dum dum bum 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 bum
Mum,
bum.
you'd sit there hitting the space bar, wouldn't you?
All day, yeah. That I tell you what, I love the Amstrad. If I had the room, I'd love to get one again, just to play the games. I mean, unfortunately, what did Mum and Dad do? They sent it off to Neil, and yeah, no more. Nah, the Amstrad was like the Rolls Royce of 8-bit computing gaming back then. It was a great machine, well
So
built.
the letdown of the Amstrad was in 1984 or 5, I think,
Yeah.
is when we got the thing. Someone said we're getting a computer. Well, this was, I think, I don't know if the internet was around or not, but I remember thinking, brilliant, I can stick anything I want up on this screen and I can
Mm.
find out about like dinosaurs, for instance.
Yeah.
It just wasn't that type of computer.
No.
I mean, if I had one in front of me now, I'd be struggling to think, what can I do with this brilliant thing?
There's not a
But
lot you can do other than play games or play like typewriter.
programming,
Basically, if you're a programmer, it's a good thing to start. I mean, the good thing about the 8-bit computers during that era is it brought in a lot of people. A lot of people who played it learned basic programming and now in the industry now.
yeah, they were affordable. They had their day, didn't they?
Well, the one that we had was very expensive, but if you had the Spectrum, you could buy back then. You could buy it for £100. Now, if you think about inflation, what was it back then? Even cheaper, if you think about it. I mean, we were pioneers in the computers. I mean, the problem was right. We had so many computers being built, and they were being competitive. What happened? Our industry crashed, and now it belongs to the Americans. If
But you would consider that Amstrad was basically, it was one box that plugged into the telly.
yeah,
When everything was in that keyboard, wasn't it?
yeah,
The tape deck was in there as well. This was It had a floppy drive. I'm sure it had a floppy
You
drive.
you can, but I'll tell you an interesting story, right? These machines were released internationally, right? Internationally, they had a floppy drive, they had games, but do you know where the best games during the 8-bit computer came from? The UK. And what were they on? Tape. Now, I've talked to a few people online, and most people who are into, let's say, Spectrum collecting or C64. Now, C64 had a floppy drive, but most people who have that machine end up getting a tape drive to play tape games from the UK. But the biggest problem is that you got the PAL version and the NTSC version, which means you have video problems. Basically, the best games during that era were on tape and they were from this country. We were pioneers. I'll be honest with you, at one point, we had the computer game industry and the computer industry in our hands, and we lost it to.
I'm sure.
Right, okay then. Alright then, random question. What is your favourite game of all time?
One that I spent a long, long, long time on was
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye and Perfect Dark on the
Yeah,
N64.
they're cool games.
Because I used to go and do, I used to spend a lot of time around
Mm.
mates doing music.
Mm.
What we'd end up doing is we'd stick the N64 on and we'd end up spending 8 hours on this
I
Perfect
know, it was
Dark.
a mental game.
You'd never bother with the solo missions, we'd just literally be going around shooting each other. That was the fun of it.
Yeah,
GoldenEye I never completed. I always got stuck on the
same.
last.
Same here. Last level, I got stuck on.
But it's got to be. I'll tell you what we've got to do. And I know you did the review, but did you ever complete Two Quick Dudes?
I got stuck on the last level with you, and then you ended up going loopy at me because you said it was my fault that we got killed.
Yeah.
And I was like 10 years old, and I was crying in the corner, being like, "No, no, don't shout at me."
Trouble is, we were renting the bloody things.
I
We
know.
were on time limit.
It was cool though. Do you remember towards the end of the I mean, towards the beginning of the 16-bit era was expensive because you think about it, right? Beyond 1990, what were games? We were paying what, £2 or £3 each, right? And suddenly 60 quid. Now, back then I could barely afford the games, same as you. But by the time we got to what, 92, 93, you could actually pick up the older ones a bit cheaper. And that's when you started collecting them.
I remember going to, there was an old video shop in Lowestoft, and we were going down there, and we were buying the old tapes for the Amstrad because we couldn't afford the ones for the Mega Drive.
Yeah,
We were finding hundreds of games for that Amstrad.
dead cheap.
Yeah.
Did you remember right towards the end of the Amstrad days to keep it current they were doing 16-bit ports like they had Golden Axe, they had Outrun, and God they were crap. They even had well fighting well it was I think
The
Street
original Street Fighter.
yeah that was crap.
Street Fighter. Yeah.
Well
Yeah.
that game originally came in the arcade, and then on the TurboGrafx it was called Fighting Street, and then there was a port made for most of the home computers, and we got Street Fighter, but it was rubbish. Da, 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 the pressure.
Have you got a favourite game then?
Let's put it this way. There's only one game. There's only one game that I can think of. There's so many games I love, but Final Fantasy VII. Oh come on, that game has got the best game music of all time. It's got
Right.
the best game story of all time, and I completed that game 3 times, and it just
Yeah, but how long did it take, man? That's boring.
yeah. But the thing about games like that is right. You got great cutscenes. You got talking in games, and the more better they get, the less your imagination you can put into it. The thing about
I
Seven,
just spent you because you'd stick that game or Andy would,
yeah,
and I'm not staying and watching you playing on this for 6 hours. I'm getting out.
yeah, that's fair enough. That's one way to get rid of you. It's like right, let's get rid of Stu. Let's put Final Fantasy VII on. Yeah, he's gone. Ba, 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 ba. Dun, dun, dun.